last week?
Okay, so I played my roommate a couple of times. Low key, he worked me very handily. Um, I played Dylan one time. He went on like vacation on chess.com. I don't know how he even did that, but I think he was ducking the smoke. So if he watching, I think he actually just played me back on. Yeah, he just played me back like 5 minutes ago on chess. So we might have
Okay.
to make a move. You might have to help me beat him one time, but we'll
No,
see.
no help needed. Well, I'm gonna teach you to get better, but yeah, let's let's see. So we've gone over the opening fundamentals. Also, just to let people know, your voice is a little sore because you've been hyping up people, right? So
Yeah, it
you're
was a big squat
still
day today.
you feel all right though. It's not like you're
Oh
sick.
yeah,
Okay,
nah, I'm great.
awesome. Yeah, we almost didn't stream this, but obviously Dio's got a lot of fans and people that want to tune in and see this. So we gotta go. The show must go on, as they say. Okay,
Nah, for
so
real.
um, let's watch you play a game, and then we'll go over it. I want to focus. Just a quick reminder: opening principles obviously apply to every game. You want to develop your pieces
Yep.
out, control the center. You don't want to bring the queen out too early. You want to be efficient with your moves, get castled, and connect your rooks. We've gone over that in the last couple lessons, but today I want to focus a little bit more on the middle game and the end game, right? And some checkmates. So we might also go over some puzzles later.
Word.
All right, I don't know if you know your teammates' usernames on Twitch, but some, I don't know if they're ever tuning in. But anyways, all right, tell me when you're ready for the game.
I know that's Dylan right there.
Is that Dylan right there?
1 1 2 1 1 2 DE. But he trying to be alias over here, bro.
he's
Crazy.
he's spying on your he we just finished his lesson, so not all of the teammates do. Usually I streamed one with Tavon, but he's doing something today, so we'll have to make up for it later next week.
Bet, bet. Dylan, you about to see a GM at work right here.
All right. You got some big dude, you've been playing some good games last I watched. And it's good also you're on stream, so like you're getting used to the camera and the pressure, the viewers, right? Like this is good warm up for the tournament.
Nah, for sure. Pressure builds diamonds, man.
Exactly.
All right, I'm about to start the game.
Sounds good. I'll follow you.
Bet.
And you're always encouraged to share your thoughts on your thought process for each move.
Bet. I'm trying to control the center here. All right. I know you're trying to get me in check.
All right, so I'm gonna mute
So
myself so that I can talk to the chat, but good to see you,
develop
Dylan.
a
Thanks for the
piece.
follow. Appreciate that.
Protect my piece.
And hello to Kirby. Good to see you. So let's look at really quick how this opening happened. We have e4, e5. Knight comes out attacking the pawn. His knight comes out attacking this pawn. Dio
See, my
takes.
problem is I like move my pieces backwards, and I feel like that's not good.
So
But if he takes
our
my
opponent
bishop,
messed up. They shouldn't have brought their knight backwards because that is
I don't
wrong.
have anything to defend with.
Developing the bishop's good. Here we should just go back, and this is good. So he said he doesn't like bringing the pieces
I'm
back, but
wasting time.
sometimes, yeah, this was not good because that's a free piece. So our opponent takes advantage of that, and he's offering a queen trade, which also isn't good because he's down material. So if we see the trade, our knight can take back. But yeah, Dio saying he doesn't like to go backwards, but he really needed to save the piece there. So our opponent doesn't trade queens. Now we should bring us
Okay.
out the other knight. Maybe castle here. Maybe get the bishop
Now,
out and
I never
castle.
figured out like which way is better to castle. Um,
So Dio's deciding between which piece to develop because
But if I
he can
go,
castle after developing. Knight
I
here
just
is
want to
good.
develop my pieces.
Yeah, and bishop here also is good, attacking this pawn. Bring the knight here is a strong attack. This is called a pin. So bishop here is probably pretty good. He's attacking the bishop immediately, which is decent. If takes, he'll take back here, and now knight here is strong.
This guy's playing mad weird.
Castles allows for the bishop to take the knight. Bishop here typically isn't good because it's blocking this pawn. Again, I would consider something like this. The queen would probably just go all the way back here. Actually, the bishop defends this, so that's not as good anymore. Yeah, he trades, and now the opponent has this pin actually. So that was a mistake by both players, but really hard to see. He really needs to play this move. Yeah, he missed this. So now the opponent actually might find this. He is fully developed. He's connected his rocks, so that's really important. But yeah, the opponent finds the pin. So this unfortunately loses. He's going to realize this now. But e5 was a really strong fork. Also, Dylan might be realizing how tough it is to play. And like me pointing out everything that's being missed or possible, it makes maybe more sense. It also helps that I have the eval bar. I can see the engine moves, right? Also, just one of the downsides of castling queenside like this is that your king is more centralized, and so it's more exposed on this diagonal. So one of the most common responses to castling queenside is you also tend to put the king over one more square to get it a little safer. So e5, it's a move too late, attacking the queen, trying to see if the queen will leave the defense of the bishop, but unfortunately, queen stays where it is, defending. Also, the opponent doesn't need to save the queen because, yeah, this is a blunder, right? The opponent could take with check. We don't have time to take the queen. And they could have done that in this last move as well. They should take with check. We take, and then they save the queen. Here, we see that he just blundered. So now we can take that free bishop and save our queen.
Hanging.
And he sees it. Really good play here. And now he's threatening a checkmate in 2 moves with this last move. So our opponent really messed this up. And that's another thing of the beauty of these chess matches when you get to spectate is that you see all the wins and the losses just like being possible, but the players don't know that. Here he has the possibility of en passant, which I taught Dylan and Tavon. Actually, no, Chance. Yeah. I don't know, actually, if Dio knows it or not. He comes back. This is a blunder, because now his rooks aren't connected. Wow, the opponent did that so fast.
Oh, I'm dumb.
He realized...
blocked my own piece.
No, exactly. No reason to get discouraged. Also, a reminder, these are 5-minute blitz games, so no increment. Even if you're down every single piece, you could still win on the clock. So there's always a chance there. Okay, so the bishop move is a discovery on the queen. The queen goes here. He's offering a queen trade. So we got to teach him one of the middle game principles that we haven't gotten to yet is when to trade queens. And there's a lot of factors that go into when a queen trade is good, when a queen trade is bad. So one of the main ideas in trading in general is that you don't want to trade when you are down material. So the computer will count the material for you. It says his opponent is +4. He hung this rook in the corner, right? So when he's down material, he really should not be trying to trade queens because then it's going to be very tough for him to come back into the game. think rook here makes a lot of sense, attacking this pawn.
Oh, I should have, bro. I'm tripping.
Also, first game, you know, it's always a warm-up, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he just dropped his rook.
Warm up game, warm up game.
He's only got 30 seconds, which is tough. But if he plays quickly, anything can happen still. So he is down a piece, but he's down both rooks for one knight. And our opponent looks like they're getting their rooks in. So, and we're running low on time. I suspect he's going to lose this on time. But he's fighting on here still. Rook here is a really strong check because it's going to force the king backwards to the back rank. And now if he goes here, this is going to be really close to mate. He goes here. Now he can block. He's just going to shuffle. This is smart. Takes with the bishop. Yeah, check. That's a free rook, by the way. Block. The knight's defending this.
Oh, still taking his rook.
He can go here
And
now.
of course he moved it.
He's going to run out of time here.
Wow, I took way too much time.
Yeah, this one slipped away from you. So let's look at this opening here. Actually, I'm going to invite you to the classroom. All right, I just sent it. Okay, so opening was good. You take this pawn. Now, this is tricky. When he brings the knight here, what is he doing?
He's attacking my pawn.
Yeah, so you have a choice. You can defend or you can take. And when you take, you have to watch out if his queen comes out this way, right? So he could take, and now you should probably go here. And this is actually a really tricky line. So if he moves his knight away, let's say he goes here, you can win like on the spot. Do you see a good move here?
If I go, if I go knight to f7, he can't go anywhere.
Well, he can block now, or he could actually just take this.
Okay.
But this is a discovery check, so we want a discovery check, but to win the most material.
And then I have to go. I don't think I'm seeing it then.
We want to attack something with our knight.
I'm looking, trying to get like a fork, but the only other one I'm seeing is d7, knight to d7.
So what are you trying to attack with the knight?
I mean, you're trying to put the king in check.
Well, notice, like, if I go here, is the king in check?
Oh, no, it's not. Oh, and he has no legal move. Oh no,
Well,
he could block with the
so
queen.
the queen, our queen has a discovery, right? That's what that's called.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
discovery attack, we could move the knight to literally any square, and it's going to be a check.
Okay.
So we want to put our knight to the most aggressive square, where we're attacking another piece. Like, what's the most uh, powerful piece?
The queen.
Yeah, so can
So
we
if
move
I
our
go
knight to
to
attack?
C6,
Yeah, c6. So can they take our knight?
oh, because he's in check. So,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
So the problem with taking one of these two pawns is that the king can take our knight and get out of the check at the same time,
Mm,
right? If we put our knight here, they cannot take our knight because they have to deal with the threat, right? The check. So how do they get out of check?
had to block with the queen or the bishop,
Yeah.
but I could take both if they
So
do it.
so if they go here, what do we do?
I take with the queen and he's in check. No, 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 no. Hold on. I take with, if I take with the queen, it's protected. No, I think I take with the knight, and then after he takes with the
What do you
queen, I
take with the knight?
the queen
Why did we put the knight here?
to attack the queen or the bishop.
Yeah, so do we take the bishop?
I don't think so, because we win more material with the queen.
Yeah, we take the queen.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I'm making it tough for you, but this is a tricky opening when they bring these two knights out because both pawns are just hanging.
Yeah.
So anytime you see these pawns are captured, you always have to watch out for these queens getting on the open files, right? So
Okay.
here, if they move the knight back, I'm just pointing out, like, if we go here, they can now block, and now we're not winning the queen. We could still win the rook, which is okay. But if we go here, we're maximizing the value because if they block with the queen, we can still take with the knight.
Okay.
So the whole point of this is that it's a discovery check. They have to get out of check, but their knight is going to win the queen next.
Okay.
All right. Hi, Jesse. Uh, this is lesson number 3 with DO. I love this move, D4. You're developing two pawns in the center. You're defending your knight. They attack the knight, but it's already defended. So what I would do here, I would develop my other knight because I want to defend this pawn. So if they play here, notice our knight is pinned to this pawn. So
Mm,
we should move the knight because we want to save it. And then they can take this pawn with check. And maybe even a fork. We would have to block like this. So I would develop the knight to defend this pawn so that once they attack us, we could just go back. And we don't have to worry about
mm.
this being taken. So, all right,
Okay.
they go here. And now I want you to explain your thought process to me here.
What did I do? I kind of forgot.
You you took this.
Oh, I took. Oh, I'm thinking. Okay. Yeah, I was definitely just. I saw the queen. I wanted to take it, but it was undefended, so I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, so you
And I
gotta
didn't. I didn't want to move the bishop back because I felt like I was gonna be wasting a move. If that makes any sense.
yeah. So that does make sense. We like to go forward most of the time, but sometimes going backwards is just a necessity, right?
Okay.
So let's show you in this position, they should just develop another piece or they should take the pawn. What they did was really bad. So going backwards in this instance is a really bad move because like they're just moving the knight twice for no reason. When they could have even taken a pawn, they could have attacked your knight. They could have left the knight here where they developed it to begin with. So moving backwards in that example is really bad. Moving backwards in this example is really the only move. Now, you don't have to go backwards where you came from. You can go backwards here.
Mm,
And this is a really good place for you to be.
mm.
So just because you move
Okay.
the bishop out, sometimes your pieces get attacked, and oftentimes they do if you are especially developing into their half of the board. But this development move is good because even if you get attacked like you did, you can still tuck back this way and your bishop's still developed here. and
Okay.
contributing and helping control center squares, right? Okay, so we take the pawn and this just loses our piece. So that's not good.
Yeah.
Now,
No.
here you offer a queen trade. Now, there's a lot to unpack. This is a really good idea to just know. There's a rule of thumb on when you want to trade and when you don't want to trade. So, how do you know if you want to trade or not?
If you're up material, you can trade. If you're down, you want to keep your piece.
Yeah, so are you up or down material?
I'm down by one.
Yeah, so do you want to trade or no?
Nope.
Yeah, so this is not the best move because then
Okay.
then they'll take our queen. And now we're down material and we have the queen traded off the board. So the queen is your most powerful attacking piece. The queen will win you material, right? If you attack with it. If you trade it, now it's very difficult for you to get that material back and trade. Okay.
So
Now,
I should have moved the knight to f3
just
to attack the
well, you don't have to attack the queen. The queen's not like as long as this is defended and this is defended, we can just continue our development, right? Bringing the knight out. If you want to attack the queen, yes, bringing the knight back makes a lot of sense. Bringing the pawn forward even is aggressive, but yeah, probably knight here is best because we don't like that this pawn is under attack because we want to get the bishop out, right? But we don't want to lose this pawn. So when they go here, that helps us. They should have traded, but they didn't. Now they go here. I like bishop c4, developing another our last piece and attacking f7, right? You attack the bishop, which makes sense. He goes here. Again, you should probably go here. But so also, I noticed our knight's hanging, so you could also defend the knight with the pawn. That's what the computer wants. Castling is really good because it's a development move, right? They go here, and now you trade. And now this is a really tricky moment. So technically, when you castle queenside castling is more aggressive and more dangerous.
How so?
Because let's say you develop the bishop, and let's say you castled kingside. So essentially, in the board, your king starts in the e file, your queen starts in the d file. So a through d is called the queen side of the board. E through h is called the king side of the board. You can castle queen side or you can castle king side. It's also called castling long and castling short because your king is closer, like it's the shorter. Okay, so here's what it's confused. King goes 2 squares when he castles, right? Doesn't matter if he goes king side or queen side. It's going to be 2 sides. Thank you for the raid. Also, hello to everyone. I'm giving the 3rd lesson. Good morning, Hair. Hi, Seb. Hi, Brody. Hi, Jesse. All right. This is called long because your king is just farther from the rook, I guess, this queen side. And like you have to get 3 pieces out of the way before you can castle queen side. And you only have to get 2 pieces out of the way if you castle king side. So it takes longer to castle long and it takes shorter to castle short in one way of the sense. But as far as distances go, the king will go 2 squares either way. But short side, you're closer to the corner. You're more tucked away. If you castle queen side, your king's more towards the center. You're 2 squares away from the corner, as opposed to 1 square away. Now, when you castle short, you don't always want to put the king in the corner. Like the king's typically pretty fine right here. When you castle long, a lot of the times you really do want to move the king away because your king is exposed on this diagonal a lot of the times because you've moved the d pawn, right? When you castle short side, a lot of times you don't move the f pawn, although sometimes you do want to move it. And if you do move it, then you would want to put the king in the corner. Essentially, it's all about king safety, right? When you castle like this, your queen and king are lined up on this diagonal and it's exposed, right? If this knight were to move, bishop here is pinning your queen. and that would just win your queen and essentially win the game.
Okay.
So this is risky, right? We don't want to get our queen lost. So uh, moving the king is good. The computer wants you to just defend the knight. It's attacked by 3 pieces. It's only defended by 1 pawn. So if we could defend it with a second pawn, then it'd be good. In fact, if they take with the knight now, they're gonna get forked, right? They're gonna lose a piece. So that would be really good for us. The problem is we take, and now they should play here. They don't need to take the knight back because they're just gonna win your queen. So this is winning for them. They missed it. They take back, which is the natural thing to do. And now here you have a fork. How can you
With
fork?
my E pawn.
Yeah, you just push the pawn, it's forking the 2 pieces. Yeah, so we got to see these attacks. We develop, this is a good move generally because we're connecting the rooks, but the problem is our king is exposed on this diagonal. So they find this attack. So we missed the fork. They now pin us. And now what you did in reaction to this is the best thing you can do. You attacked their queen, right? So in this situation, there's nothing you can do about your queen. There's no block. There's no queen move or king move. They're just going to take this next, essentially no matter what. The problem is they forgot to do that. They didn't take. They should because it's with check. If they take your queen, you cannot take theirs because you have to get out of the check first.
Oh.
So they should have taken the queen, which would be really smart. They saved the queen. You attack the queen again. Now this is where they blundered. They take here, and now you win the bishop. So where should they what should they have done instead of taking your pawn?
He should have moved the F bishop and taken my queen.
Yeah, you should take with check. But let's say he forgot and he wants to move the queen. What are some other good places to go?
Um,
Hi, Rob.
I want to say move to F5 because he can take my C2 pawn or threaten that square.
Well, what was so bad about taking the pawn?
He left his bishop undefended.
Yeah, so how many places can the queen go to defend this bishop?
Go to F5, G4. It could go to H6. It could go to F6.
Can you go to f6?
No,
Yeah,
because I would take it with my pawn.
exactly. No, so these are the 3 places. These are the 3 good moves. But the best is to take, as you mentioned. So, yeah, this is a big blunder, and it lets you get back into the game. And now you're actually winning because you won a free piece. Now he goes here. Now I wanted to ask you, do you know en passant? Have you heard of that?
Bro, yes, I know that. Bruh, I should have taken that pawn with my E pawn.
Yeah, you could take
Because he
on.
moved two, I could have gone diagonal.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
tripping.
yeah. So I just taught Dylan and Chance what en passant is. They didn't know, but
I learned it on the little chess lesson with our diamond membership.
nice,
That was
dude.
one of the first lessons we had.
You're using the resources. That's awesome. Okay, so you didn't do that. What's wrong with this move?
I blocked my D rook. I was sick after the fact he took my H rook. I had no way to defend it because I blocked my own rook.
Yeah. So remember uh being fully developed, we want to keep our pieces out and we want to connect the rooks, right?
Yeah.
So connecting the rooks is really important because they defend each other. And developing pieces is good because our pieces are controlling the center, right? So best is en passant, which you missed, but you're not going to miss it later. But you should also consider putting the bishop like just here or here, right?
Okay.
The computer wants you to attack the queen with a rook, one of these two rooks. You attack.
And would it be better to move my H rook or my D rook?
Honestly, I don't. I would maybe say this one
Okay.
because you're still maybe the pawn wants to push. I'm not sure. Honestly, it's fine. Probably like it doesn't matter. You allow the queen to come
Okay.
here. If you go this way, then um, the queen's actually trapped. That's crazy. The queen's trapped here. Yeah, so this one's better. If you go here, they
Okay.
go here. And
Mm.
then the computer likes your position so much it wants you to sacrifice on d5. So, for example, let's say we take with the knight, take with the pawn, take with the bishop, and now we're threatening both of these at the same time.
See, because I knew I had more attackers on that D file, but I didn't see that my bishop could attack that rook, so I didn't do that.
You could even take with the bishop, and if takes, knight takes, we're threatening this fork,
Mm.
and we're also threatening to bring our knight in with check. If they take, queen takes, threatens their rook. We could even threaten to take this knight. If rook takes, the knight takes with the fork. So essentially, like, they have moved their queen a lot, right? They blundered a piece, and now they're playing in the center. This is really dangerous because if you take en passant, you're threatening this, you're threatening this, you're threatening this, this, you're threatening everything. Um, so essentially, their king, they just haven't developed their pieces, they haven't castled. So you're completely crushing here. You slipped up, you give up a rook, and you trade queens, right? Like,
After giving him a rook.
exactly. So you're down material. Trading queens is the last thing you want to do.
Yeah.
So if you can believe it, the computer says you're actually favored. It likes white, even though you're down a whole rook because of how bad your opponent is neglecting their development and their king safety. So the computer, it just wants you to play e6 and just tag. Now, if they take, it wants you to play queen e5. You get the rook back, basically.
Mhm.
If they block, you just take this, and now you're winning. Here, we have bishop check this way. If they go here, that's checkmate. If they run away, well, it wants rook e1, attack the knight. How do they save the knight? If they go here, well, we're just going to take it. And if they go here, we have mate. Otherwise, if they move the knight, let's say here, for example, well, now we take here, and that's a fork. If they go here, then yeah, we can take here because the knight's defending. We're going to take this. If they go here, now we can probably still take this, and the rook's going to come in now. So, okay, anyways, all this to say, like, yeah, you can lose a rook in the corner, but still be, like, winning because they're just not developed or castled or safe. So we just have to find the follow-up, the attack. And so we do that by opening up lines.
Okay.
E6. So now our queen can use this square. We're threatening mate. Even if we're helping them develop and take some material, like their G pawn is gone. Like when they go here so early on, like yes, it attacks a piece, but this is a bad move because like you want to get castled, right? This does not
Yeah.
help with their development, and it really weakens this kingside pawn structure.
Okay.
All right. So, anyways, let's go back to where we were. Right here was
So basically, I want to castle king side because castling queen side is longer. You have to move more pieces, and it opens up the line. to
Yeah,
be attacked.
so it's riskier, but it's also more aggressive and sometimes it can be more exciting, right? So the
Mm.
reason why it's risky is like you said, it takes longer and also you're exposed on this diagonal. But the good reason why castling long is strong is because your rook is now in one of the center two files. So if
Oh,
you try to open lines up, your queen and rook are already combined on this, right? Like it's really aggressive to have the rook here. Whereas if you castle short side, your I don't know, your rook is only on the F file as opposed to being in the center file, right? A lot of times when people
mm,
castle like this, they take an extra move to put the rook on the E file. But the trade-off if you go queenside is that now here your rook's already on a D file or in the center file, but you spend a lot of times moving the king over one more square for king safety. So there's pros and cons. Most people castle short king side because it's
okay.
faster and it's safer. But sometimes you want to castle long because it's more aggressive and your rook is better to attack. But you just have to be aware of the risks, mainly just this diagonal, right? That your king can get checked this way. So taking here was a mistake because of this pin, but they missed it. You just have to see it, before you take, right? We can't risk this kind of idea. So here we should defend. But I would say, like, honestly, the bigger thing is seeing the pin. Not so much worried about casting queenside or kingside. But in this game, this is the second time where you've offered a queen trade, and it's the second time where you were down material. So the bigger takeaway for this game is we want to trade when we're up material. We don't want to trade if we're down material, right? Once
Okay.
you trade queens, you're just down a rook. Like we both have these pieces, and we both have at least one rook, but like you're very much still in this game if you play this e6 like attack because like your queen is attacking. His king is still in the center. That's another big point of trading queens. So when you trade material, it's important that you're like up, right? Or that it's forced. If you are uh down material, you want to try to decline the trades as much as you can. The other really important factor about trading queens is king safety. So because the queen is so good at attacking, you want to attack the king with it, right? When the king
Yep.
is weak, your queen becomes even more powerful because a weak king can be checked. And so your king is really safe, especially if you put the king off the diagonal. His king, he hasn't castled yet. He's got no G pawn, and he's doubled these pawns. So even if he does castle at any point, his structure's going to be bad. So this king is especially weak. That's why e6 is such a strong move. You're really just attacking. Even bishop h5, you're threatening this, right? So the queen is an attacking piece. We don't want to get rid of it if our opponent's king is weak. So the side with the weaker king wants to trade queens because once the queens are off the board, now the board just becomes so much safer for the king. The king doesn't even need to castle anymore, actually. The king could just step right up into the center of the board because you're not going to checkmate without the queen, right? You just have these pieces. It's a lot harder to attack.
Okay.
So, so you have to ask yourself before you trade, am I up material? Am I attacking? Or am I defending, right? If you're defending, trades are good. If you're attacking, you want to keep the material on, right? Now, obviously there's exceptions a lot of times. Sometimes trades are required to follow through with an attack, but here you're just trading just for the sake of trading, and this really hurt your chances to win this game, right? See, you follow up with bishop here, but you don't have the queen anymore, right? Like your
Ah,
queen also, remember your queen was here. See their knight comes out. Your queen could have taken that knight. So
yeah.
when your queen's still in the middle of the board like this, you're really restricting your opponent. when you trade queens, you alleviate all the pressure and you make life for them much easier. They can develop the knight. This isn't even an attack anymore, right? You just have less material, less pieces to coordinate with. So, yeah. And then when you're down material, you end up losing more material, which is unfortunate. So, like here, for example, he's got three pieces attacking this pawn. Like it's really difficult to defend this thing. You push
Yeah,
and he still takes it, right? So, yeah. Anyways, um, yeah. Main takeaways for this game is you wanna know when to trade queens and when not to. So, but yeah, like other than that, your development was good. You were definitely better in that category, but we have to not give opponents our material for free, right? You gave a free bishop, you gave a free rook. You got almost you got away with letting your queen get pinned. So these are going to be major blunders that can cost you some games. So we gotta fine tune. We gotta like double check before we make our move. Double check if that square or that piece is free or hanging or something like that, right?
for sure.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Let's do it, man.
All right,
When you're explaining it, it gets me like hyped to like go and like actually put it into practice.
yeah, I love it.
I'm about to start up another one.
All right,
Right there.
Brody, is the board not lined up with the cameras? I'm sorry. I try to make it as in line as possible. I guess it's off a little bit. When do I get my Joe Bruin lesson? Brody, you should be giving me lessons. I'm trying to catch up on chat a little bit. It seems like Gary's trying to backseat coach. You love to see it. Classic Gary. It wouldn't be a stream without Gary telling people how to do things. This guy resigned.
Okay.
All right, so this one we don't need to go into the analysis for. Um,
Okay, so for the
but
last move, I was thinking about moving my pawn uh to my C pawn to C6. Or should I just move my queen back?
um, well, you're up material, right?
Yeah, that's what I was
So
thinking about, just letting them kind of take mine.
I love that. You could simply take their queen, but then they take back with their knight, so you're technically helping them develop. So it's better to let them take you on your terms than for you to take them,
Okay.
right? So I
Okay.
agree. You could push c6. You can also bring your bishop out to e6, right?
Mm,
You could also push your pawn to e4 and attack their queen. So that would be aggressive too. And when their queen moves,
okay.
your e pawn prevents their knight from developing to f3.
Mm,
So that would be a strong move. But like you won a pawn, so this was or you won a piece, which is really good.
I messed up a new one because that was
Yeah, it's too
I don't know
short.
why you
Yeah.
problem with that somewhere to be.
Sometimes you get these early resigners. Brody 2150. Oh man. Can't wait for drill lesson on Wednesday. Yes, Jesse and I are scheduled again. So Jesse and Joe, the Chessons, are back on the menu, baby. Mark your calendars. I've been busy working on stuff on the side. I don't know if you guys can tell. You're not that bad. Tyler 1's pretty good, dude. He won Streamer of the Year. It's better than I could do.
Okay. Now, I could take his bishop, or I could threaten his queen. But I think in this scenario, it's better for me to take his bishop, because it's guaranteed peace. But I need to take with this pawn, so I don't let him get my queen. Okay.
One day I could be 2150. I'm like 30 rating away. I'm getting there. He sacked the queen for the chess queen. Jesse learning some things about her mods. All right, let's see. We have a gambit here out of a Scotch game. Trade and take. Take
Well, I
here,
only have 2
castle,
minutes left,
castle.
bro. I swear I've been playing fast.
Honestly, I
That's
really like how
crazy.
he's been playing this so far. Knight here. We could see a rook trade. And that's unfortunately going to give up our pawn. Too young to be on the internet. Knight back in the center. We love this. True. Yeah, back in my day, the internet didn't even exist when I was 20. That was a joke. You thought Gary was mid 50s? That's wild. That's wild. And you moderated
Oh,
that,
I'm
man.
tripping. That was a free. Oh, man. I hope he doesn't see it.
No, it's not a free piece, my friend. That is surely defended.
Oh, yeah, he's doo-doo. He's bad at the game.
Okay. We love a little bit of trash talk. You definitely, yeah. Gary, I don't know if he acts his age or, I don't know. He acts a certain age, for sure. Middle age. All right, we
Forked him.
love forks. Yep,
That's
Gary
work.
called it out. Love the hand rub. He's plotting his material gains. Best track 480 is old. Oh,
Bruh.
oh, bruh. We love love that. Now he's gonna
Like,
blunder his
what is he
queen.
thinking?
No, I'm just kidding. All right. This not the best move. Not the biggest fan of this
Look, you shouldn't have
because
done that because I just blocked my own bishop.
yep, he said it himself.
All right, that's
But
cool. That's cool.
didn't matter that you blocked your bishop. He was down a queen, so he missed that. So this is a much better game. I'm gonna invite you back to the classroom real quick.
But
All right, so you got the black pieces, e4, e5, both knights out, pawn in the center. This is called a Scotch game, which is really common. Now, most of the times they'll take back, and now we don't want to take because then we invite the queen to the center.
yeah,
So let me show you this other idea really quick. And I've shown this before. This is called a Scandinavian. If the queen takes, what does white do?
if the queen takes, white will move his knight out to c3 to attack.
Exactly. So that's developing with the tempo, right? That's good for white, bad for black, right?
Mm.
So let's apply the same idea to this center in this opening, right? If we take, doesn't matter how we take. If we take, now if they take here, we don't want to take because now the queen comes out and we don't have this development move with tempo anymore,
Okay.
right? So now the queen is really happy here in the center because we're not going to develop and attack it right away, right? We could play here and this kind of weakens our like we like to have the bishop here, right? So in this situation, we can actually develop the bishop here. Now
Okay.
we're attacking them again. They have to react to this, right? So there's a lot of things they can do. They can push the pawn, they can bring out the bishop, but sometimes they trade the knight. If they go here, we have to see they're attacking the bishop, and this is a good time to come back like this. Our bishop's well placed here. If they take, we don't have to take back right away. We can threaten checkmate. Do you see how?
Hold on, let me cook. If I take, ooh, checkmate. The only thing would be to maybe move the bishop to, excuse me, b4.
No, because the knight could take.
No.
Yeah, and they can block like that, right? Or with anything. So we want to notice also the knight hits our queen.
Yeah.
So how do you give like a scholar's mate?
I have no clue what that is if I'm being honest.
Okay, there's like a 4-move checkmate with white.
Oh, you got to move the queen to
Yeah.
all the way in this corner over here to h4, right?
Yeah, we could go here. In this situation, queen likes to come here
Okay.
because then we are also attacking the knight. So
Mm.
this is a trickier idea. Uh, we're essentially sacrificing the knight. The most common idea is to just simply take it back, right? If we take back this way, they can trade queens and we can't cast anymore. So that's not good.
That's what I didn't want to do.
So we could take like this, right? But better
Yeah.
is we can bring the queen out because now if they try to save the knight somehow, which I don't even see how they would. Let's say they go here. Now what do we do?
Oh, I take my queen and take that f pawn.
Yeah, that's
He can't
checkmate.
go anywhere.
Exactly. That's game over.
Mm.
So this is called an in-between move because the logical continuation is to take the knight back, but before we do that, we can threaten to end the game with checkmate. And now they're forced to save this and react to this. So they don't have time to save the knight because if they do, we end the game. So a lot of
Okay.
times they'll just bring the queen here or something. And now we can take back like this, and we open up for our bishop.
Mm.
Now, in this situation, a lot of times they'll bring the bishop out to defend. We'll bring the queen out here to attack again. And now to defend, they'll just push the pawn. And then this is more or less even. But let's say at this point they take. Should we take the bishop or the knight? You muted yourself.
My bad, my bad.
All good.
Take the knight because then that wins a piece and defends a piece.
Yeah, we can take the knight, but better is to take the bishop. Why? Can they save the knight now?
So if I take the no, wait, hold on. Yeah, they still could move it to that A file.
And then what do we do?
Oh, I could just go Queen F2.
Yeah, we sell the mate, right? So in this line, we looked at knight takes queen here, and they don't have time to save the knight, right? So in this line, they bring the bishop out. We still bring the queen out. Now, if they take, we don't take the knight back because we're just going to take the bishop now. They still can't save the knight because we're still threatening this mate.
Mm.
So if they take the bishop, which is best, look at how bad their pawn structure is, right? They have these two double pawns. They don't have an F pawn anymore. They don't have a D pawn. Now we can take back the knight, even with the queen or even with the pawn. But yeah, the point is we're going to get the bishop out. We're going to maybe target these pawns. We can bring our knight out. We can castle here. We can go here and castle there. This is a much better structure. We have 2 pawn chains. They have 3. So, or some people would even count this as 2 here, so that'd be 4. But essentially, you want to keep your pawns together so that they can, defend each other and work together. When the pawns are doubled like this, it's hard for them to move, right? And like this pawn cannot move at all. And this pawn also doesn't defend this pawn, right? Now this pawn's also doubled, but there's pawns next to it that it can like work with in a way,
Mm-hmm.
right? So anyways, I'm just going over this is a lot of opening kind of knowledge and theory. They don't take. They go here. This is called a gambit where you give up a pawn for advancement and development.
Mm-hmm.
So technically you have 2 pawns, he only has 1, right? Because you take and he doesn't take back. He gives you another pawn. And then after this trade, you've won 1 pawn. So now you just continue developing. Love it. Knight, then bishop. You trade and then castle. No, you take this first. Now if he goes here, it gets a little tricky, right?
I'm cooked.
You're not cooked. You actually have the potential to be the one cooking. You could be the chef. Let's say you castle.
Oh.
What happens if he takes?
Then I move either my rook or my queen into that E file.
Which one?
Let's see. So if I move my queen there and he takes my queen, if I move my rook there, I only lose my rook. So I said I move my rook there.
Yeah, do we want to trade queens?
No, I'm down a piece.
Yeah.
I mean down material.
So why is the rook better? You froze. We lost them. The internet. Oh, you're back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So why is the rook
My
better?
bad.
You're good.
Because I'm down material and I don't want to trade when I'm down material.
Well, in this situation, it's actually simpler. When we move the rook, can he save the queen?
Oh, it's pinned.
Yeah. So the difference here is that we've castled and they haven't. So in these situations, we can actually sacrifice the knight. We don't have to care about the knight because he's gonna lose his queen if he hasn't castled, right? So
Okay.
castling is a really strong move. It's really cool because then you're gonna get it back. Now you have to watch out because sometimes they can block with something. Now here they can't because our knight covers this, right? So we can still win it. Um, but that's something to keep in mind. Like if they had a pawn here, for example,
Mm.
but they gambited it. Now if they did try to save it and they had a pawn here, we could just attack it again like this. And that should be good. We'll get the piece back at least. But okay. We take material, which is good. We take here, which is good. We castle, which is good. They castle. Rook here is good. Here, bishop out with a tempo. They save. So everything you're playing right now is really decent. You know, really solid. I love these last two moves, getting the pawns in the center. They attack your knight. Now I would go here.
Mm.
You save the knight, so it's fine. But there's a key detail here. What do you notice about the rooks?
Oh, so it's if I move my knight to the F file, then it's protected if he tries to take my rook, because they can take each other.
Yeah, so this is like a soft pin. It's like a pin, but it's not like a check or anything like that. It's just a trade. But the trade's really important.
Okay.
The knight here, it's not so much to defend the rook, it's more so to defend this pawn. Because
Why?
your queen is defending both pawns, right? Or it's defending the pawn and the rook. So the problem is that this is called overloaded. The queen cannot defend both because after the rook trade, if they traded rooks, well, so you trade here. So they messed up with this pawn push. But if they take, we take, what can white do?
He could take my D file pawn because
Exactly.
it's unprotected.
And now your pawn structure is really bad. And the
Mm.
queen is now in the center four square. This is really well placed queen. It attacks the knight. It attacks the rook. It attacks the pawn. And yeah, our pawns are not. They're not. They don't have their d pawn buddy. Basically, they can't work together anymore. Once they're doubled and isolated like that, it's really tough for them to move. So we don't want to allow this trade if our pawn's gonna fall. So we have to keep that in mind. The knight here would have been stronger, but
Okay.
they missed it. They just keep attacking the knight. You trade, and now you go right back, which is beautiful. What do you think about like remember this pawn is attacking your knight? Are there any more pawns that can attack this knight?
No.
So this is a really special position for the knight. This is called an outpost.
Outpost.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's where your piece is defended and cannot be kicked out by a pawn.
Mm.
So this is a really strong piece because the only way they can remove it is by trading off their knight or by trying to undermine your pawn here. So if they play here, I mean, you're just going to take that for free. You would take with the bishop, not with the pawn, because then you lose your knight. And if
Okay.
we take this way, not only do we lose the knight, but our pawns are really, really bad now.
Yeah.
So the only thing worse than double isolated pawns is triple isolated pawns. Like anything more than that's honestly an anomaly. But yeah, we could take with the bishop, and now our bishop's still opened up. That's even more supporting of this pawn. Yeah, we're not ruining our structure. We're not weakening the knight. So yeah, this is a really good position for you. They go here, which is really smart because they're attacking the pawn and they're trying to pin the pawn to your queen. So in certain lines, like let's say you go here, now they can do this. You see why?
Because if I take with the pawn, then he could take my queen.
Yeah, that's game over. And it's a
Oh.
back rank mate too. Yeah, so like that's why we don't like to underdevelop pieces, and we want to keep the rooks connected to this, back rank
Yeah.
basically. So like in the previous game, you move the bishop back to attack his queen, and that cost you the rook. This would be a similar situation. It would cost you a piece, right? Whereas if you tried it now, then your rook is still there. So even though like you traded queens, he would lose material because he got a knight, but you got his rook.
Yep.
So, anyways, here you go back. Now this just drops this, unfortunately. But he goes here, and now you hit him with this fork. This is really nice. And he just missed the queen was hanging. So this is a nice fine bait. You push, and you're like, I shouldn't have blocked the bishop. That's exactly right. You're exactly right on the spot with that. Maybe pushing this pawn or putting the bishop here, something like that, and that would free up your queen. So you don't want to allow them to just take this pawn. So like this or this would both be really good. Probably he would go here, so that wouldn't be fun. But maybe even just attacking the rook, something to defend this, like, or even like rook here is good. But yeah, pawn push, and then now your queen's freed up to enter or to attack and stuff. But yeah, he just resigned here, so that was a better game for sure.
But appreciate you.
Yeah, did you want to do another? I know we're like over an hour.
Nah, let's get one more, man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
A lot. Let me get right. Let me put it all together, man.
Yeah.
Oh. I always get checkmated. I always let them checkmate me on this right here, bro.
All right, we gotta teach you how to not let this happen.
Bro, like every time, literally every time, I cannot defend this.
Don't worry, we'll teach you.
Like, I have no clue what to do, bro.
All right, we're gonna.
I'm gonna ignore him.
Yeah.
My roommate Caleb always does this to me.
Rob, you want a tournament with 560 people in it? That's huge. That's amazing. All right, I want a huge comeback from him. I think he can.
This guy knew like the first 5 moves within like 8 seconds, and now it's just done.
It's not. I'm not gonna tell him, but it's definitely not done. See, look at if he castles and gets the bishop out, he's done. This guy only has 1 queen out, right? Like, you can't win the game with 1 queen. Check, pawn block, c6. Don't block with the bishop. You hang your knight with check.
Duh.
That's okay. Ooh, this allows queen takes e4 check. If queen e4, this guy's not 134.
That wasn't a very smart move.
Well, okay, also, okay, he might trade bishops and then win the knight, so that'd be bad. However, maybe blundering the knight is a 5-head genius play, because then we get the rook on the e-file. Perhaps, but no. All right, we should play this. Or actually, no, castle, because takes. If takes, then we get the queen back, baby. Let's go. Always play for castle's a good move, man. It's with tempo. My day's been good, Jesse. Thank you. He's threatening to win material back. This is good. Probably castle, though. Unfortunately. And life will be difficult. All right, discoveries. Okay, here. Wait. Oh, takes G2. That's the move. Yeah, this is not so easy because the knight covers this mating idea. So we got to take on G2, and the game we're right back in it. Ooh, he messed up. This is a big mess up. This is a big mistake because he's helping his opponent here. He has F5, but ooh. Castles now. They should castle. 100% they should castle. Rook D4. Perhaps. Would be aggressive. How's your day, Jesse? It's Friday. Rook
Bishop's
D4
getting
play.
sacrificed.
He's sacking the bishop. Saying, give me that rook. Oh, he's going to win the queen. I swear, if he takes with the queen, take with the rook. Let's go. Huge. See, this is the... Now, okay, it is quite the challenge still. It's a queen versus 2 rooks and a bishop, but he blundered the queen and mate in 1. Oh my goodness. See, the people that play for the queen out trick early, or they're just like, they're not really... They hope for resigns, but this guy,
Hold up. If I win this game, I'm really like that. Hold
up. He's a player, dude. If I win that game, I really like that. That's amazing.
I think I want to take the rook
What's
to
up,
the
Jan?
e-file. Oh, he disconnected.
Busiest workday. He disconnected, did he?
Come on, bro. I want to win this. I'm so sorry. Why everybody quitting, man?
Because they're bad.
Okay, but like, how do I defend that? Like,
yo, we're gonna go over it. Listen. You dropped the rook early, but you kept playing and then you fought back. This guy didn't know what to do. All he knows is that one trick. He's a one-trick pony. He hopes that you quit and resign early so he can do it to the next guy, but you didn't quit. You didn't give up. You came back. You beat him, and then this guy quit. So you're the better player, right? He knows one trick up his sleeve, and I'm gonna show you how to crush it. So the best way to ignore the threat, well, I'm teaching you essentially by saying that, you need to stick to your opening principles. If you're ever in a situation where you're like, man, I've never seen this before, I'm confused, like what's going on? Always go back to the opening principles. You want to stick to your game plan and just make sure you're not blundering any material. Like it's easier said than done, of course. But whenever the queen comes out early, remember, this violates the opening principle of bring the queen out, right? Because we can attack the queen. But that's exactly what he wants you to do. He wants you to play here. You're attacking the queen, but remember, this move does not control the center, and it does not develop a piece, right? This move does not help us. And we just have to see that the pawn is under attack, right? So let's look at a normal opening. Let's say he plays here and we play here. What do we do if he plays here? What do we do?
Well, move either one of my knights.
Yeah, but what's the more standard move?
To move my G knight to F6.
No.
To attack his piece. Oh, then my B knight to C6.
What's the difference?
Well, he's attacking my pawn. I need to defend my pawn.
Yeah. So now you can totally do this. This is totally fine, and this is a normal defense. But it's a little riskier, right? Because he can take here, and like if we take here, we're getting into all these sort of traps and stuff. Like white goes first, right? So typically they're gonna be ahead of you. That's why black is typically defending things, right? Okay. So knight here attacks, and we defend. But we're both very much still controlling the center. We're still very much even. His opening, he's doing the same thing. He's developing a piece to attack your pawn, right? So what should we
Mm.
do here?
So now I should just move my B pawn to C6.
Your knight, yeah,
I mean, B to
yeah,
knight, excuse me.
yeah. Knight b6. You're developing a piece and you're defending your pawn, right?
It's so clear, like when I'm not in the game. Like,
Yeah,
wow, that makes so much
yeah.
sense.
So now let's say he develops his knight. Well, first and foremost, he's gonna play here. So what should you do now?
Do the same thing on develop my bishop, my
Nope,
F bishop.
nope.
Well, then
What's he threatening?
if he's threatening that F7, so he's trying to checkmate me right there.
Yeah,
So I move my queen to E7 then.
there's a better move.
If I move my knight to F6, then I attack his queen.
Does that save f7?
No.
No.
I see. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so bringing the queen
Maybe
out, bringing the queen out is fine. It does the job, right? But you
yeah.
have better. How do you prevent this from happening? There's a lot you can defend with the queen, yes.
Oh, just move my pawn up.
Which
Move my
pawn?
D file pawn.
Yeah. There's another pawn block that you can do.
I can go, but now I move my G file pawn, and that's what got me messed up.
Yeah, but you're defending this pawn now, so he doesn't have that anymore.
Um,
But I agree with you. D5 is better. It's best because we're developing. This is controlling the center and it's with tempo.
okay.
So normally white puts the pawn here
Yep.
so that after this we don't have this d5 push. So here we want to go
Mm,
g6
okay.
because they don't have this anymore because we're defending that. So they'll go here and now what do we do?
I go. Okay. I'll stick to the opening principles. So I'm gonna move my knight to F6.
Yeah, what about developing our bishop?
Um, that would be cool too. That would be cool too.
What are they attacking?
Oh, so they move. They're attacking my C file knight. If they no. What are they attacking?
Is it a big difference which piece I develop? Or is it fine? I could develop either piece.
I feel like you could develop either piece. No. I feel like I should develop my knight.
What was their last move?
He just moved his queen
Yeah.
H5
Is that was there any particular reason why they went there?
because my pawn had him thinking he was gonna get taken.
So we
My
attack
G5
yeah, we
pawn.
attacked their queen. Their queen could have gone to a lot of places, right? But they chose this f3 square for a reason.
Because I see the checkmate. Okay. So if he moves his queen to F7, then it's done.
So
Okay.
yeah, if we go bishop here, it's done, yeah? But now we
Yeah.
can go here, yeah? And
Hmm.
now this is defended.
Oh, okay.
So this is part of the opening. You cannot just autopilot. You cannot just develop like developing here. looks like we're attacking the queen, but we drop the pawn, right? So
Okay.
here, like, yeah, we can develop this, but there's a big difference. The knight is important to defend the pawn.
For
So
sure.
when we're developing, we cannot just develop pieces at random. We have to develop with purpose, and we have to see what their purpose is when they develop. So they bring the queen out, and the purpose, they're trying to confuse you. They want to win this pawn and win the rook, right? This is what happened in the game. But sorry, no, this is not what happened. Um, I'm looking at this line with the pawn here, but uh, when we develop the knight, actually, I'll go back to the line we were looking at. Sorry, wait, this one. When they develop the bishop, we have to see it's a mate threat. So we cannot just develop a knight with tempo. This is like, I keep preaching, develop with tempo, right? We attack the queen with the
Yeah.
knight. We have to see the threat of checkmate. So when they develop pieces, you have to assume they're doing something, right? Because they're attacking your stuff. So when the queen comes out, it's important we defend our pawn. That's why we play knight here. When they develop the bishop, it's crucial that we save our pawn, because then we get checkmated if we don't.
Yep.
So we cannot just develop the piece with tempo. We have to block the mate somehow. So that's why we go queen here, or pawn here. They're going to continue attacking, because this is just what the opening is. They want to checkmate you again. They want to hope that you play here. I've done this. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to move my knight to attack a queen, right? And I'm attacking this fork. This looks great. Game over, right?
Mm.
So I have to develop another piece to block this, right? I could
Yep.
I could defend with the queen, but the problem is we want this bishop to, I guess you could go here, but we want to develop with the piece, put the bishop here and then castle, right? So if we develop here, then we're not getting mate anymore. They might try some other things. A lot of times people go here because they don't want to deal with this, but now we put the bishop here. We could go here, but when we push this G pawn like that, we create weaknesses. We want the bishop to help defend this knight, and we're gonna get castled, and then we don't get checkmated, in 4 moves by these two pieces. So the takeaway is we gotta just see their threat and react to it in a way that helps us develop, right? So in the game, he plays this. He wins your rook. Now, don't get, don't lose your
I
cool.
got a little frazzled, I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
yeah. You definitely didn't know how to react. So whenever you're in that situation, just stick to the opening principles. Try to stay cool and just see what their threats are, right? When they have the queen in here, you can't just be giving up pieces like this, right? Because
Yeah.
you developed your knight. You don't want to underdevelop it. Bring out the other knight. Put the pawn in the center. Just play like nothing happened. Because at the end of the day, all he has out here is one queen. He's not going to mate you with just one queen, right?
For
Unless
sure.
you do something crazy. But you don't want to give up all these free pieces like this, right? You put the other knight here. Like, you just had a knight here, and you gave it away. So, okay. Here, he goes here. You save the queen. You win a knight back. He messed up. You should take the knight. Now you have threats of your own. Here, you save. Yeah, you attack him. You take here. Like, at this point, you're playing great, right? You should block with the pawn.
Yeah, I saw that when I did it, because then if he takes, then I could take with two other pieces.
Well, yeah,
Hmm.
also, you're losing the knight with check, too. Your
Oh,
bishop is a when you put the pawn here. Well, okay, when you take this pawn, it's because your pawn defends the knight. So when he goes here, he's
yep.
trying to distract your pawn, right? If you take, he takes. So that's why you develop to
Mm,
defend this pawn. And now when he checks you, this bishop has a very important job to defend the knight. When you go here, you're pinned. So he could
mm,
trade and then take, which is really good. Or He could even just take the knight straight up immediately because your bishop cannot take, it's pinned.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, anyways, we want to block with the pawn. What's another good reason why we don't want to trade pieces?
Because I'm down 7
Yeah,
material.
you're down too much material to trade bishops. You got to block with the pawn because that will keep the material on for now. He goes here. He should take one of these two. He messed up. He attacks you, and now you should castle. Why don't we need to defend the knight?
Because the bishop is defending it.
But it's attacked twice. So what happens if we
I
castle and he takes?
um
Take care, Hare. Thanks for being here.
oh, I could pin his bishop to his king with knight or excuse me rook to e8.
Let's take the bishop first. Why?
Okay. Oh, because then we win his queen,
Exactly.
and that's better pin.
Yeah, we when I said we don't need to defend the knight, I was kind of joking because queenside castles does defend the knight because of this tactic.
Okay.
So we're trying to trick our opponent into giving the queen back.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's why when we castle and they take, we don't want to pin the bishop because then he's gonna see that like we're just gonna win the queen if we take, right? That's why we
Yeah.
take first because at this stage he should just castle. He shouldn't take back, right? But we want to see if he messes this idea. So we're trying to be tricky here. But notice how like if we castle, even though we're down 7 points of material, our king is safe. We've developed our pieces. Our rook is in the center, and he hasn't castled. He hasn't developed, right? So even though we're down material, we're still playing better, right? Our opening is stronger and better, and we're giving ourselves a good chance of making him mess up, and then we get back into the game.
Hmm.
So okay, let's look at what happened in the game. You defended with the queen, and this is also really tricky because you're lining up discoveries, right?
Yep.
So he takes, you take, and now he develops. He really needs to castle. This is like last chance. He goes here, and now you can get right back into the game with the discovery.
So should I go bishop to c2? Is that best?
No, best is we want to grab the most material as possible.
Oh, so if I go bishop to g2, then I win his rook.
Exactly. Exactly right.
Okay.
So you take, he goes here, we take, and now we're only down one pawn. After so he wins 7 points of material because you give him a rook and a knight for free, basically. And like you don't know the opening. But
Yeah.
as a decent player yourself, if you just stick to your opening principles, right, without even knowing opening knowledge or theory, you can win that material back just because of this guy's blunders and mistakes, right?
Okay.
So he develops and you play here. So unfortunately, you're giving the piece up. Like he should just take with the queen, honestly, because then that's going to force a queen trade. So when he develops, this is another instance where he develops a piece and you just missed like what he's attacked. You have to defend the bishop now. But you can do it with a
Yeah.
discovery. So that's really good. You can get a really strong attack. You develop the bishop and you forget the knight is attacking your this is attacked twice. He takes, you castle. He goes here. Now you play this really good move. So you're blundering the bishop. It's a sacrifice because you're threatening to win the queen. So this guy just completely forgot about his queen. Takes. He should take, and you take. He moves the king, and now, uh, what's better? Should we win the queen or should we win the king?
If I went to E1, it would have been checkmate.
Yeah, that's mate in one. So
I just saw the queen. And I was like, yeah, give
yeah,
me.
you always have to look for checks. This is also mate in two. They
Mm.
could block, you take, and then they go here, and then you have this mate, or you have this mate. But this is mate in one. So yeah, you always have to look for checks. But this was really good for you to bring the rook in. And even though you lost, literally you're down 13 points of material right now. With your last two pieces, you get the knight and the queen back, but also like you could be down 10 points of material and have checkmate in one, right?
That's crazy.
So doesn't matter the material, what matters is the mate, but also like we don't want to give up everything because we can use our material for checkmate later. Like if your opponent just defends the mate, right? Like for example, in this situation, all he has to do is like okay, maybe the knight's a goner. Like if he just castles again, you could take this, but like okay, he checks you. You go here, now he takes this. You're still very much losing. You're still down 10 points of material, right? And
Yep.
all he had to do was castle his king. Right? Like castling it's a game changer. It's like a lifesaver. Um, he doesn't do it, and then he just loses the whole thing. He loses the queen, he loses the king, he loses the game. You take the queen, and he resigns. But you could have, yeah. So so the lesson is try not to hang so much material, right? React to his
Hmm.
threats when he develops. You have to ask yourself, what is he doing, and how do I stop that? So when he
Okay.
brings the queen out so early, you cannot just blindly attack the queen. You
Yeah.
have to understand why he went here. It's for a
Mm.
purpose. So if
He's
I,
trying to set something up.
yeah, I gotta react to these threats. Otherwise, I'm gonna get cooked, right?
Hmm.
So develop, defend, react, and you gotta keep your eye out for checks, right? And the free pieces.
Yo,
All right,
yo, my roommate just scared the crap out of me.
that's
Bro,
funny.
that wasn't my fault, man. I heard you on the lesson.
Yeah, you should tune in, bro. But
So
this Caleb, bro, you know how you be Joe, can you go back to this like the little corner thing? You know
My
how
fault.
I always go like here, bro.
Yeah.
Bro cooked me again with the you feel me?
Yeah.
He's teaching me how to defend it. So next time you do it, it's up.
How do you do it, my queen?
Bro, I swear you did it yesterday when I was getting food.
My fault. My fault.
it's
Nah,
my
it's a sharing of knowledge. Can you hear him? Oh,
hello. No, I'm probably through your headphones.
oh yeah,
But
for sure.
are you good for today?
What you trying to do?
I was trying to get some grub.
Yeah, I think we about to go get some food. But
Awesome.
I appreciate
Yeah,
your time,
yeah.
man.
No, I appreciate you. So I hope this was helpful. Your tournament's on the 13th, so we have 12 days.
Yep,
So if we only stick to Friday, that's only one more lesson. So let me know if you wanted to do more. I was maybe gonna go over some in-game
that
practice, but otherwise, I'm always happy to help out. So hit me up.
most def. I definitely want to get at least two more. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? At
got it.
least.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna text you about my availability because low key like Mondays and Fridays and like the weekends are like my best days to do it.
So probably Monday.
Okay, man.
All right, dude. And yeah, you can hit me up whenever though. So all right, I'll let you go eat, but thank you.
Appreciate you, fam.
Yeah,
Be safe now.
you too. All right, take care. See ya.
Shit.
All right, that was Do. Um, all right. Jesse tuned in and learned, so that's great. We're doing multiple lessons at the same time. All right. What do I want to do? Should I stream? I am streaming. Should I end the stream? Probably I should end the stream. All right, we're gonna go send you off on a raid somewhere, so stick around for that. Maybe Jessie will go live. Although Jessie, I don't think she does Fridays, does she? She does like Wednesdays. No, she does Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then randomly like she'll do a Wednesday. Anyways, it don't matter. Let's see. Let's raid Eric Rosen. Wait, what's he doing? Should I raid Eric? Sure, let's raid Eric. You do Sundays. Raid. She doesn't stream Fridays. On her way to Lowe's. Sounds fun. Why not grind, Brody? True. I'm just, when I stream, I'm on YouTube right now because I'm recording these lessons with him, or just the lessons in general. But I want to maybe listen to music when I grind, I guess, when I'm really streaming, truthfully. This is just a lesson. This is more of like a work thing, honestly. But it's all good. I'm going to raid Eric Rosen because he's going to be our next podcast guest. So I'm giving a lesson to Jesse, and then we're going to do a podcast episode with Eric Rosen on Thursday. So jam-packed. Also, tomorrow, you guys, CCL, it's week 6. We have perhaps the biggest showdown in Collegiate Chess League history happening tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific. The top 2 teams in the league, and perhaps even all the world, Webster University taking on the back-to-back defending champions, St. Louis University. Who's going to win? I actually cannot wait to see it. I think Webster's the favorite. They're the favorite in the standings, but SLU's the favorite in the rating. But SLU's the more historical team, but Webster's first season. It's going to be an absolute clash of titans. I cannot wait to see it. I hope to see you all there. Seriously, though, this is the peak of college chess happening tomorrow, and it's just week 6. We still have week 7 for the regular season to end, and then we have playoffs starting March 16th. But yeah, I hope to see you all tomorrow, and I also hope to see you all later next week. We'll do Tourney Tuesday, lesson with Jesse on Wednesday, and a podcast episode on the Collegiate Chess League channel with Eric Rosen. That's why we're rating him, so maybe he'll point that out. I don't know. We'll see. All right, take care, everyone. I'll see you later. Bye.